Hello, my name is David Everest, and I'm, let's see, let's get a good shot here. That's a nice shot. Anyways, I'm here to talk about, this is my claim, and on the 22nd of March of this month at 11:30 a.m., Robert Shoemaker will be coming to my claim, and this is about getting, whether I need a plan of operations for the type of mining I'm going to be doing. Under the regulations of the BLM, they're called the 3809's casual use. If you look that up, it says anything less than 1,000 tons or less per claim per year, you don't need a plan of operations. Now, I was ordered by a court when they convicted me of not having a plan of operations for having a rock bar, a shovel, and a sluice box, which they took all of that, but that's another story. Anyway, so when they kicked me off of here, they said I had to have a plan of operations. Well, I went to the Forest Service when I got off of bench probation back in November or December. I might have started before then, looking for their form. They just told me to fill it out on a sheet of paper and gave me no clue on how to write one. Well, then I went to the BLM, and they didn't have one for the type of mining I was doing. They gave me the rule book, and they did have a form. The form was for oil and gas, and they don't have one on valuable minerals because one they charge royalties to, and one they don't, that they manage. And the BLM was set up specifically to run the mineral lands of wherever they lie on any federal lands. They get to write, well, they're supposed to, with consultation with the miners, they're supposed to write the rules. The miners are actually supposed to write the rules. Miners haven't been allowed to participate in the writing of the rules in a long time. We're insisting on coordinating that now. But what we have here is he's now looking at the federal rules that says I don't need one for 1,000 tons or less, and they consider a wash plant like a sluice box, an underwater suction device, a wash plant. They can be any size you like as long as you don't move more than 1,000 tons a year. And so, as long as you're not doing that, it's casual use. You can do it year-round. And if you have more than one claim, you can bring the stuff to your claim as long as you show that you're only taking 1,000 tons per one of your claims. It's possible to have more than one claim. So you could have year-round work mining 1,000 tons per claim per year. And that's casual use. That's what I intend to do. I intend to mine all my claims until we can get straightened out on production and that I can get the financing to go bigger than that. Right now, I can get financing for a small operation, 1,000 tons or less. That's what I intend to do. Now, I contacted the Inspector General's office of the BLM. Their job is to investigate waste, abuse, and fraud on the Department of Interior. I asked them where the trustee is, the primary trustee, because the agency itself is general trustee. You need a specific named person in there. Well, they declined to get involved, saying that they only got involved in waste, abuse, and fraud. Well, not having a trustee is fraud, because the trust requires a trustee to manage that specific trust. By the way, the ranchers have a similar trust. They just pay raising fees that are supposed to pass through to the county. The agency gets funded by the federal government in their annual budget to manage the lands. So they're not to get any of that money. That was in lieu of property taxes for them agreeing to their agreement. Remember, the BLM doesn't have a right to change the contract. It was an in perpetuity contract. When they violated it, they were in breach of it as an agency. Not having a named trustee is the same thing. And then you got the ONC lands. That's another trust they're in breach of. I say it's time for us to take our lands back for the local use as it was intended to be. I intend to sue under a takings because I've been invited by the Inspector General's office to do so. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sue for lack of a trustee and to appoint one. See, because now if the Forest Service says you're right, you don't need a plan of operations, that makes my case an unlawful detainer because they gave me 30 days in jail. They took all my property. So I have to have an audit of accountability to account for my damages. And since that's an iron mountain up there, I intend to mine for the iron and the other minerals. Iron is just what's on top. It's a placer mine on top of iron, on top of a huge lake here. That mountain over there and that mountain over there, this is a fault line right through here. And it goes right straight up the mountain and it curves up through, and there's lots of fault lines along these mountainsides. And someday I'll get up over there on the other side of my thing and show you all the ravines. I've been studying this place a long time. I've had other people study it a long time. I have a very rich claim because, see, the dirt I'm standing on top of covers a lake of hard rock all through here. This is placer sitting on one of the hugest hard rocks anybody's ever seen. And it's got iron, it's got platinum, it's got gold, it's got copper. Well, not as much copper as I'd like, but it's got it here in enough amounts. It's just, it'd be what they call gravy. Gold will be gravy because we'll get it out of the iron once you get down to that level. And the iron's worth a lot of money because there's a lot of iron here. And that's why they call it Iron Mountain. They used to mine it a long time ago. They mined it, there's a big pit at the top. It shows it on the ancient maps. Anyway, so what we're looking at here is a breach of fiduciary duty by the guiding agency to not to come to my assistance as the grantee, because even the general agency has a fiduciary duty to the grantee. That would be me as the miner here. Me as the guy that's come in and filed on lands that were open for easement, entrance and exit, and the right to file a claim on it. They've never challenged my claim. They say it's valid. Well, since it's valid, and they stepped all over my rights and put me in jail, this is not over yet. I'm back here at my claim. I have a tentative approval from Robert Shoemaker. He's going to finalize his decision when he comes out and looks, and I show him what kind of sluice box I'm going to put up. And that I'm going to be moving mostly in the beginning by hand with a bucket into a sluice box into a hopper. When I get in a place where I can, and I'm going to pump water to it. And I'm also going to be able to set this up where if I get a hole in the ground up high, I can pump water to the hole and get all the way to bedrock, and then open up to see my lake of hard rock. But because there's so much overburden here, it'll take me a long time to do that until I can get equipment in, actual equipment, digging equipment. By the way, we're allowed to bring in excavators and all of that without a plan of operations, as long as we don't move on that particular claim more than, it's called the 5 acre or less rule. It's what they call 1,000 tons, because that's what they figure a small operation can move casually. So that's what I intend to do, and I'll be back with more as I progress with my mining in Oregon, in the Applegate, on the Sturgis Creek, this part right here is in Josephine County. I come over here, and that's Jackson County to the east. I'm right on the borderline. And this is now speaking from Twin Cedar mining district as a local government, Twin Cedar Mining District as an LLC, and an unincorporated city or township. Twin Cedar Mining District. Have a nice day. Bye.